And welcome back to Market Avenue. Let's go to Esther for the snapshot from the Ghana Stock Exchange.
Well, Edward, as you said, it's the first trading day of the week, and the markets didn't record any price changes for today. The composite index was at 0 points, and the year-to-date change, which is the return on investment, is negative 8.55%. But if you invested on the financial markets, the stocks, the return on investment is 1.57%. However, the composite index, the financial stock also recorded 0 points. In terms of volume, we have 317,917 shares exchanging hands for today, and they were valued at 280,733 Ghana cedis. The market capitalization remains unchanged compared to that of Friday, as no equity registered a price change for today. So let's go to the trading results for today. As you can see, the trading results, we don't have any equity registering a price change, but we have in total 317,917 shares exchanging hands. And if we can go into details, we have Bob 40 shares, Carl Bank 597, and we have CPC 7,241, EGH nothing, EGL 6, ETI 2 shares, and we have GCB 3 shares, and GGBL 67 shares. We have Goil nothing, and I think Mark 2 also nothing. And MTN Ghana is sold the highest in terms of shares, and also in terms of value recorded the highest. It sold 309,181 shares, and they were valued at 278,262 Ghana cedis. We have other shares exchanging hands too. We have SIC 450, we have Societe General Ghana 7, and I think Unilever 165. So in total, we have 317 shares, over 317 shares exchanging hands for today.
Thank you very much, Esther Edu, for the update from the Ghana Stock Exchange. We're going for a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Stephen Yabua, CEO of Commodity Monitor, and to find out more from him how we can do mining, small-scale mining, artisanal mining without mercury.
Every Wednesday at 9:05 a.m. live on GBC News, Unique 95.7, and all GBC regional stations, and on Facebook at Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, and a repeat on the same day at 11 p.m. on GTV. Focus, putting the issues in perspective.
Hello, welcome back to Market Avenue. With me in the studio are Stephen Yabua and Martha Mwako of Commodity Monitor. You're welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you for having us.
Great to have you. Stephen, long time.
Long time.
Great to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Good. Martha, let me start from you. When we talk of catcher gold, that's the terminology we're using, as a gold catcher, the equipment that is going to help us to mining without the involvement of or inclusion of mercury. What were we doing before we're going to use this one without involvement or inclusion of mercury? What was the way we used to do artisanal mining?
So I think over time, right, small scale mining sector have been introduced with a lot of even the equipment. Some of them have been introduced to the one existing before. They have their own traditional way of mining as well. Even before the colonial masters came, they still used them. They used to mine at the coastal side, right? And then over time, they shifted to using of mercury and other chemicals in the process of catching the gold. So in the process of that, they polluted the environment. They polluted especially the water bodies. So I think technically that's what they used to do. Yes, it's a process of mining, but again, it damages the environment. So we don't want to stay in that system for forever because of our children and our great-grandchildren. We own them a lot to save the environment for them. And I think it is possible. Other countries are doing it. Why not us? So we have a lot to learn. And since it is here, we have to just tap into it. This is where we are.
All right. Great. Let's pick a soundbite from President Akufo-Addo when he was doing the inauguration, and then I'll come to Stephen.
All right.
The machines, 100 in all, are meant for small-scale miners in the various mining communities. The gold catcher is designed to handle up to 300 tons of ore per hour. It saves time and is deemed more profitable. Its simple and robust nature makes it the preferred choice for Ghana's terrain. Modeled for small-scale applications, the gold catcher is able to recover precious metals from damp tailings, rubble beds and alluvial sands. Satisfied with the equipment, the Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources in charge of mines, Mr. George Mekuduka, was confident the small-scale mining sector would be more profitable in the years ahead.
I'm so impressed seeing this. We're looking at mechanisms where we can also build local champions within the industry. Where do we start? Let's start from the community level. You know, in doing that, we must also encourage them to do or practice, have best practices or follow all protocols in mining.
Barring any hitches, the mining equipment will be inaugurated by President Akufo-Addo next month.
Hello, welcome back, Stephen. That was an insert from the gold catcher or the equipment for processing gold and mercury. Now, what is so special about this latest equipment?
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. So basically, it's coming to change the status quo. Right, miners are used to working in a very, very unacceptable way in terms of, not even extending the arguments, beyond mercury. When they crash, the process of crashing others, there's actually a lot of dust that's released into the atmosphere. So these particulated matters get into contact with these miners. And in Takwa, in some of the mining communities, actually the leading cause of death among these young people, actually tuberculosis and others. So it means that it's not just the mercury, but even the entire process, from crashing to recovery of gold. That's where actually these miners get, contaminated. So what makes this machine special is that first, a miner is able to process more ore per time. Wow. Right. And then second, the miner is able to recover more gold than the current system that they use. And third is that the miner is recovering more gold without using any chemical, which is mercury. And that will help, generate, I would say, attraction for Ghana to pursue the path of sustainability. So this is basically what we are about, these three wins for Ghana.
I'm interested in the issue of recovery.
Yes.
You said the miner is able to recover more gold from the ore. What exactly do you mean by that?
It means that as for the current practice, actually miners do lose a lot of gold because of the process that they use. And we've done a couple of tests, across the country, and we actually showed that most of these operations, they generate just about 30 to 35% of the gold. The rest is washed away.
Wow.
We have done the test, and actually a miner with our machine is able to get minimum of 90% gravity recoverable gold. And that we have done tests over and over. So arguably, we actually are convinced this is the best machine or processing machine for small-scale miner as it is today in this country.
Martha, so the question is, why have we sat down as a country to wait all this while for us to go through all this painful process of losing lives because we're told mercury is poisonous? And then even the environment, we polluted our water bodies. The turbidity of even processing water is so difficult that we have to pay so much money in getting the chemicals to process our potable water.
I think that, well, if you say we've stayed so long, yes and no, right? A time comes in a man's life that you need to embrace what is happening when you have made some mistakes. So yes, I appreciate the mistakes, but people are willing to do it right. And so let's take it that now it's time for us to move ahead, do it better, protect the future. So I would say that yes, we've delayed because this kind of pollutions was there. We are not the only country that is mining. Australia mines a lot, Canada mines a lot, South Africa, let's come to even Africa. South Africa have done this mistake over, and some are even happening, right? So, but they were able to change the whole discussion and activities earlier. Why Ghana didn't, that I can't tell, but I think this is the time is here. There's opportunity to do it right. Why not? And this technology comes in good time when everybody has got to understand that the pollution is our reality now. We can see it, we can feel it, we are eating it. You can be in Accra, I think that you are not part of it, but all the rivers coming up there come to join the sea. We all eat fish. We all eat from our rivers. We all use the waters in our communities to either irrigate or drink or use it for one way or the other, some activity. So it is time for everybody to be concerned with it. It is really a national security issue. If you go to DRC and other countries, resources curse happens. So I think that we are not too late. Yes, we could have done it earlier, but we are not too late. We can still do it right.
Stephen, one would say, such a person, what do you want to tell the person to stop using, mercury? What will be the effect on himself as an individual, the community, and she mentioned the nation as a whole? What exactly is he going to benefit from, and how are we saving ourselves, country?
So if it's a miner, right, operating using a chemical like mercury, what we term is that person is inflicting on himself actually a double jeopardy. First is that you are not getting more gold that you should get so that you can make more money. And then the second is that you're actually exposing yourself to toxic mercury. So at the end of it, you get even the small money, you have to be treating yourself, of illness, that's actually come from mercury contamination. So in a way now, it's not about the individual miner or individual miners. It's not about the collective good of Ghana that we need to get on a path for sustainability. So whether, and the issue is, it's not about mining itself as an enclave. It's about mining linked to other productive economic sectors. If you pollute River Pra with mercury, right? River Pra, most farmers depend on River Pra, to water, their farms. So it means that you are connecting other productive economic sectors like agriculture. So we actually then have to make sure it's an urgency for us, because all other sectors are affected that we have to look up to. And this is such a global stage where sustainability has become key. There's the issue of climate change, and actually when it comes to mercury contamination and mercury, I would say emissions, small-scale mining happens to be the largest source of mercury emissions that actually contribute to climate change. So in a way, we have actually an individual, collective, individual right to do so, a national right to do so, and also an international right to do so. And actually it behoves us that yes, let's make money but not actually infringe on the rights of today's generation and even unborn generations by destroying the environment and then actually creating a lot of I would say health hazards for us. So,
Martha, how difficult is it to apply this technology in extracting gold? If I've not been to school before, how can I use this technology?
Yes, okay, so the idea was that we want you to recover more. We want you to process more, but in the simplest way as much as possible. So the machine comes in a size that is very portable, that's easy to handle, right? So if you're a small scale miner and I come to you and I say to you, what if I give you a small large scale mining? I don't want to mention anyone, but for instance, Anglo Gold or Newmont or anyhow, any of them, I want to give it to you in a very small area, you know. So I think the difference between the large scale and the small scale mining is the logistics, is the processing, right? At the end of the day, it's gold you are looking for. So when you have lances, you have your land, and then you have your ore, you should be able to process to get the gold, because you don't need that stone, you need the minerals in it. So the machine comes in stages, right? So you process it, you crush it first. When you have your ore, it goes to the miller processes it to the concentrator. Like Stephen was saying, particulated matter kills a lot of people because of the dust. I mean, he's talking the case of even Takwa, but also surrounding us is a concern. Mali, their life expectancy is very low, and it's linked with also that in particulated matter pollutions. If you go to Burkina Faso and others, so what we did is that our miller, we've already put in the water supply, the pipe system in it. So once it is milling it, instead of dust coming out, it's already mashing it like the molly, you know, the conduit.
Okay.
It's already mashing it. And through that, it's coming straight to your concentrator. So it's like once you put in the ore, within the 1 hour, you are doing the least 3 tons per hour, and you're getting your gold right there. So as a miner who don't even know anything about the machine, you know that in any case you have to do some crushing, you have to do some milling, and you have to do some boarding, which takes so much time, which people even steal some. You have to employ a lot of people. They end up fetching some of what they call the black.
Yes, black.
And putting it in their pockets.
Yes, yes.
Funny enough, some people even tap their feet in it.
You know,
and put
I
it
remember
in their shoes.
I used to live in Nakotia. When you get a black, you're gone.
Yes, yes. So you try as much as possible to make it easier for you, make it more efficient for you, recover more gold. You don't need too much of things happening around you where stealing and others will take place. You don't need to use a mercury because it comes with upgrader. It comes with smelter. So we are just setting you up. We give you everything, including ribbons. We give you, including water pumps. We give you everything, even ladders to come on it. We just try to say, just get the right lances, get a comfortable place, get a place, very small place, mine, get your all there, and let's do the processing and catch it up in your comfortable.
Stephen, how would this help? She talked about the water. How would this help save water bodies? I want you to just tell us that.
Yeah. So if you look at what Martha had described, the entire process of mining, crushing, milling, concentrating, upgrading, smelting, we come to a site and we set the machine for you. So what we do is that we create a pond system. So we have like 2 ponds. You know, the tailings run into one, and then we create actually a tunnel or a channel to the other pond. When the water rises to a point, it gets into the other. The other gets cleaned up and it comes back into. So it's that, you know, recirculative method of water. Okay. So when the machine is that you don't need river pra.
Okay.
To mine or to operate the machine, you don't need you don't need tunnel. All that you need to do is to make sure that you have just a source of water, which you can actually create a pond with let's say a poly tank, and then you start feeding the machine, and then the pond system will help you reuse the water in your system. And you know, it's actually just not the environment, protecting the environment, but also that I think it's high time we created local champions, Ghanaian local champions. It's not the Chinese who can do it for us, nor the foreigners. Actually, the Ghanaians can do it. And we need a better technology You know, to give you just a simple scenario, in Konongo, for example, the current system that they use, if they have like 50 sacks of ore, it will take them like 1 week or several days to process. This machine will take just under 2 hours to process.
Wow, 2 hours?
Just under 2 hours.
Wow.
So you see that it's fast and efficient. So what are you waiting for? Right? Ghana just lost, you know, this now. South Africa has gained to be the largest gold producer. It's simply because apparently it's underperformance from the small-scale mining sector.
Yes.
So it means that small-scale mining sector can actually propel Ghana back to that role, which we definitely are ready because we have the machines, the efficient machines to make it happen.
But Martha, you know, with technology comes some job losses.
Yes.
If we are 20 doing this job here, I live in mining community. So I know mining very well. Diamond, gold, I've done it before. My dad used to do it. So if you bring technology, that you are kicking me out of job, isn't it?
Yeah. But does it, I mean, we like you said, the double way, like, you know, we have to weigh the thing, but what is more costly? It is better to prevent than to treat. Let's take even Nigeria. When the oil spill comes, they take a lot of money to treat and time to treat all these chemicals out of the rivers or the water bodies or the environment. But what if you prevent? It's always cheaper to prevent than to treat, right? So yes, I mean, when you are doing that, there are people who like the system to be like this because they are not mining, but they are getting a lot of gold and they are working on only tailings. When the small-scale miners use the mercury, they use this system, the current system, they get 30 to 35% of gold. Where do the rest go? It's not in the tailings. Another company said, no, for me, I want mine. All that I want is that your tailings that you are throwing away,
what I want. Yes.
That is what I want, you know. So somebody is making money around those mess. But the issue is, as a country, what do we want? Do we want somebody for us to pollute the environment? Somebody will not come and buy our sun and process it. Remember, almost all those who process the tailings are not Ghanaian companies.
I know
so
Turkish companies come here a lot.
Yes.
The one at Akwati, I know Turkish company bought it.
Yes.
Took it
Yes.
To us it was like waste, but came for it.
Yes.
It paid so much money.
And people living in that community are paying dear for it with their health.
Yes.
And somebody is making that money. So what do we want to do? So you balance, yes, we are taking some people out of job, but what is the result? You weigh it and you realize that does it worth it? Other countries are doing it and they are not crying, they are not complaining. Canada and others, they have those metals. They are mining a lot of gold in Canada. Russia mines. South Africa is now the leading. They are still mining, and they are not complaining because somebody is losing a job of tailings. There are so much tailings in the system that we need to process, which the machine can still do it anyway, and also radiate some of the mercury
radiation. So basically what you can do is that as of now, there are a lot of mercury contamination in the environment. So you go there are some tailings, you are full of mercury. It rains, the mercury gets into the river, but the fishes gets it, and then it's reprocessed, and then we eat. And just to actually rehash on the issue of employment. So it's not necessarily that there will be job losses. It's also there's a replacement of job. So as it is now, let's say in a typical traditional system, there will be 7 boys doing boarding after entire day's work. Our system is no, there's a concentrator to do the boarding, but they were doing at a small capacity. This machine is processing, let's say 1.5 to 3 tons per hour. It means you need more feed. So those guys rather boarding will be shifted into feeding the machine. So it's necessarily not a job loss, but it's just like a readjustment and replacement of these boys. And the more you do, the more they get ability to even get the space to employ more people for other mining related activities. So we are very much sure and certain that there will not be job losses. Rather, it will actually increase job creation in terms of getting the youth into mining.
Ghana lost its place to South Africa. Actually, South Africa was leading. We lost it, and they've come to take over again. How certain are we that with this new move by government to introduce mercury-free processing equipment will get to the top once again? Let me start from Martin before I come to Stephen.
Well, yes. I mean, in terms of South Africa becoming the leading, right? They have, like I said, the system of gold is all about the capacity, right? The more you do things, you get more results. And then if your ore is also, of course, rich, you get more results. So if you're doing it right, we will get more results. But the good news is that those who are greatest are also working. They are also, look, how we calculate why Ghana is leading, how Ghana is leading, or why South Africa, or how South Africa is leading, is at the end of the day, how much gold each of us are trading. So if there's a system to also monitor the gold trade, how much is leaving the country through the right channel, you realize that Ghana is still leading, right? But this time, some of them are not reported. And so I'm happy to hear that some of the institutions, state institutions in charge of those sides are also working to monitor those kind of things. The Ministry of Finance is trying to make revenue out of it. So they're also concerned how much goes leave and coming. We pray and hope that now that this technology has come, there will be more gold in the system, obviously, because like the president said, it's not against mining. You just want them to do it sustainably and responsibly. So now that they are going to do it that way, and with the 90% recovery, then you expect more gold. But it's also up to the government to make sure that these gold are well recorded and well traded in such a way that I think the Bank of Ghana is also doing something.
Exactly.
Buying, trying to buy gold and others. So we know that we are getting a lot of gold at the end of the day. It's all about the record. How much is South Africa trading out there? They're trading more than Ghana, hence they are more producer of gold than Ghana, right? Anyway, they say even Dubai produce gold. Because they trade gold.
Yes.
So, yes, as we wrap up.
The dynamic then is that, compared to South Africa, Ghana, its gold production happens that there's these small guys producing almost 40% of gold output. So if we really refocus and then re-engineer the path of these small guys, artisanal miner, it means that we actually appreciate our production level. So for me, yes, Anglo Gold, the big guys are producing at a constant pace. What we need to do is to make sure that we show up the small guys, the artisanal and small scale. And that's how we believe that when those guys are transformed through the technology which the government has accepted, and it's basically that in the next few years, the gold amount of gold that will be coming from these guys will be excessive, because now they have the right machines, they are producing at a very high speed, and they're using no chemical. So it means that this will be more of like the triple win for us.
All right. Thank you very much, gentlemen and a woman. Martha, thank you. Thank you. All right, this is our wrap up today on Market Avenue. We'll be looking at processing mine at the artisanal level with that mercury. Today, this is our wrap up Market Avenue. My name is Edward Nyako. God will come here again tomorrow. Shalom.
It was